it's got to end in a 5 because that's the only way I can have 5 at the end of this number. So I'm not going to try 13 times 13. I try 15, 25, 35, whatever answers they had that ended in 5 is what I'm going to try first. Because I know the answer when I multiply them together has got to equal 5,625. You see? Number 6. And going back to number 5, it is shorter, we see, right? When I went 60 miles and 45 miles, that's 105 miles. Where from there to there, it's just 75 miles. That proves that the shortest distance is that straight line, right? Even when it's 16 and 12 there. If I went 12 and then went 16, I'm going 28. When that's just 20 from there to there. It's always going to be that. That's what it proves, that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. You're always going to go further if you make that turn. Okay? Number 6 says, one leg of a right triangle measures 18 yards. The hypotenuse measures 30 yards. Which expression gives the length of the other leg? I wouldn't look at that until I drew it. Drew it, do what you did here, then you're going to find the answer that says that. You see, you can't look at every one of those choices and try to figure out which one is right. You're going to figure out which one it has to be by doing it yourself. It says one leg is how much?
18.
And what else did it tell me the hypotenuse is?
30 yards.
30, okay. They're asking for this other one, right? So now I know. I know that c squared equals a squared plus b squared. I have the 30 is equal to 18 squared plus some other number squared. Okay? When I find out what this is equal to this, how am I going to find out what this is? I got to subtract this from this, right? So we're going to look to see. Now we know what has to happen. You can look at these choices and say, which one of them shows that? Okay, so it's we did the 30 squared minus the 18 squared, right? Gives us what b squared is. It won't give us b, it's going to give us b squared. Then we'd have to take the square root of it, right? So which one of them is it?
Number 5.
Number 5. You see, it's number 5. Because we showed what we did. We had to take this one from that, and then get the square root of it to find out what b is. You see? Much easier to know which one of these to choose if you actually do it first and know what you had to do. Otherwise, you'd look at each one of them and you wouldn't know which one it was. It wouldn't make sense either way. I didn't have to go as far to put the 900 and work it out, because what I would have done if I looked at these choices, I wasn't looking at this when I did it on the board, they kept it just the squared. So I would have just kept it that way so that I can see which ones I was doing. But when I look back, I know that the 30 squared was the 900. So what I did was take the 18 squared from the 30 squared. Now that's what they have in number 4. But remember, once you do that, you're going to end up with the b squared. You're not going to end up with b. They don't want to know what the number times itself is. They want to know what is the number. That's why you had to choose the one, number 5, that said take the square root of that to find out what number times itself will equal that. You see what I'm saying there, Carla? See, number 4 says you're just going to subtract that from that, but if you did that, then you're going to get b squared. You're not going to get b. Then, just like we did at the end of the others, this is what they're showing here. You got to take the square root of it to find out what that number is. Otherwise, when I just subtract, when I found out it's, where are we? This side over here, let's say. when you find out that this is 900, you're going to have to say 900 take away 324 to know what this has to equal, remember? And that's going to be 576. But 576 is not the answer. It's whatever times itself equals 576 that's the answer. That's why you have to take that square root. Okay? All right. Look at number 7. It says in triangle ABC at the right, AB is 16, AC is 34. So again, they gave us the hypotenuse, see, they gave us the slanted line. They want to know BC. Figure that one out using the formula. And a calculator if you have it. Are you still sure, Chris, that you're going out of town next week?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you guys get?
30.
Nah, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Keep figuring. That's how you should have had it drawn. The formula.
When it's this, we have to subtract.
Yeah,
But when it's these two,
you add them together.
What does that have to equal? 900, right? What number times itself equals 900 then is what you had to figure out, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And you figured out that this times itself was 1156. This times itself was 256. I know that 256 plus something has got to give me that 1156, right? So I subtracted the 256 from the 1156 and found out that I need 900 more. But 900 is not the answer. 900 is the answer to some number times itself. I had to figure out what is the square root of 900. That's going to be what B is. What number times itself is going to give me that 900? And that answer was 30. And I can check it to see. There's your 900. Questions about the steps to finding that? Any places where you got stumped or stopped? Okay, let's do this last one on here. They give you a lot of them like this. Number 8. It says a 17-foot ladder just touches the bottom of a window. 17-foot ladder. What does that ladder make in that triangle? It makes the C, doesn't it? You see what I mean? They're not going to tell you everything. You got to look and say, okay, as soon as you see that little square there, you know it's a right triangle. And if it's a right triangle, you're going to have to use C squared equals A squared plus B squared. That's the only thing that you can do with that. So they tell us that that's 17. It says the bottom of the ladder is 8 feet from the base of the building. You see? That's how long that is.